Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. We have a couple of questions here to answer. The last question that we were trying to answer is the question about the deferred payments. Actually, I got I posed this question to the brother to get an answer from him so that they could answer his other question about the different mortgage companies. What the brother is trying to say is that if at the end of the day I'm paying the same amount of money, what's the difference between a mortgage company that is halal and the financing and the Islamic financing? No, there are differences, and there are substantive differences. In an Islamic environment, those differences will be much more obvious. But certainly, Islamic financing companies operating within an overall interest-based system of financing will have limitations to the point that it may look like they're losing the spirit of Islamic financing. However, we try to be understanding, because they have to operate within a system that within the legal bounds of the system, and they're trying to do their best. And I know that there are several Islamic financing companies that are trying to do their best to provide an alternative, a halal alternative, that is as Sharia compliant as possible within the constraints of the interest-based system. It's a long story, but let me tell you this. If you want to buy the couch for the same price, whether you pay all the amount now or you pay over 5 years, then you will end the concept. You will completely terminate the concept of deferred payment transactions, because there is no one in his right mind that would do this, unless he's doing it out of the charity of his heart, which would become a different case, completely different case. But why would I sell you the couch for $500 cash, and if you want it for over the next 5 years, then I'll take $100 per year for 5 years? It doesn't make financial sense. It does not make financial sense. And even when companies do this, they have overstock and they want to get rid of it. So don't think that this is basically when they do offer 0% financing on cars, for instance, they have overstock of cars and they want to get rid of those cars. So that's why they offer the 0%. But if you don't take the 0%, they will give you they'll give you like $2,000 discount or more or less. The idea is that the problem with riba is that it is money exchange, and money in Islam does not beget money. In fact, philosophically, before Islam, outside of the heavenly religions, even philosophers, as far as I remember, this was Aristotle who said that money should not beget money. So the idea that money begets money is not a good idea, and it has many drawbacks for the social matrix of the community, for economics, and for several reasons. So in Islam, the Prophet ﷺ told us al-kharaju bid-daman, which means liability or profit comes with liability. Profit comes with liability. You have to take some risk to make some profit. A merchant does that. A trader does that. Even, the deferred payment here, it will be product for price, commodity for price. It is not money for money, it is commodity. Now, as a car dealer, as the owner of that furniture store, that is giving you the couch, I did take risk. I bought the merchandise. I stored it. I kept it. I hired employees, and so on and so forth. Now, if I tell you I will give it to you for $100, for $500 cash, or $1,000 over 5 years, I have the right to do this, given that we will both agree on one transaction, whether the cash transaction or the deferred payment transaction, before we finalize the agreement. So it is not how much money you make, it is the type of transaction. Is it exchange of money for money, which is the concept of the conventional mortgage? The bank that gives you the money is not purchasing the property with you, is not being a partner. It is just giving you money for basically a larger sum of money in installments over a period of time. So that is the prohibition. Even in the Bible, Jesus, peace be upon him, walked into the temple and flipped the tables of the money exchangers, those who exchanged money for money. It's a concept that humanity has always recognized to be evil, to be lowly, to be unacceptable, until the concept, the image of the usurer for all cultures, the image of the usurer is a bad image. But what happened is they institutionalized that usurer. So instead of an individual, it became a bank, and the bank, is lofty, clean, people sitting behind desks, like everything is neat, everything sparkling clean, and so it takes away that image of the individual user. But at the end of the day, it is the same. It is the same thing. So it is not how much money it is the type of transaction. Now let me tell you this. The difference between the difference here is that as if I go into a contract of declining co-ownership with you, I am taking some liability. In fact, I don't like to mention names of companies so that I wouldn't be advertising for the company, but so some of the Islamic financing companies, if you lose your house to some disaster and the insurance company does not pay you the full value of your house, they will not be after you for the money they lent to you. They will only be after you for their percentage in the house from the money that the insurance company gave you. The bank never does that. The bank will tell you, I gave you this much money, I want it back. And they will not give you any break in this case. So that is just like one difference, but the difference is in a system, in an Islamic financing system that does not have the constraints of an interest-based system, the differences will be much more substantive, and the difference will be much better felt by the end consumer like you. The bottom line is we try to do our best, and we make dua for our brothers who took this on to produce alternatives, halal alternatives for the Muslim community, and we request of them and we demand of them that they improve their products so that they are even more and more Sharia compliant. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.